Chapter 10. The Legion Experiment. The 10 men stood in perfect formation, their steel breastplates gleaming under the fluorescent lights. Draped in first-century Roman armor, they had taken the name Legion, a symbol of their strength, their discipline, and their unshakable resolve to tear down Christianity at its roots. Their leader pounded his fist against his chest. "We are Legion, and we will overcome." The others echoed him in unison, striking their own chests. Ramses Bowman, standing behind the control panel, barely suppressed a sigh. They always needed theatrics. He glanced down at the controls. Everything was set. The dials were turned up, the readings steady. A massive red button blinked on the console, practically begging to be pressed. Ramses hesitated. 3 groups had gone before this one. 3 groups had never come back. There had been no time ripples, no evidence of history changing, no proof that they had ever arrived anywhere at all. All that remained of them was a strange residue on the steel platform. Paula had asked about it last week. She wasn't the first, but no one wanted to investigate it too closely. The official stance was simple. They had succeeded. And if they had succeeded, it meant history had been rewritten. No one could notice the changes, because the changes had always been that way. Still, something about it felt wrong. Ramses clenched his jaw and pressed the button. The Legion soldiers vanished, no sound, no dramatic burst of light, no wormhole tearing through reality, just a pulse on the monitor. There 1 second, gone the next. And on the platform, a thin layer of wet residue. Ramses wiped the sweat from his brow. Paula Barnes stepped onto the platform beside him, arms crossed. Still no confirmation of arrival? None. Ramses rubbed the back of his neck. "We sent a tracking beacon with them this time. It should have sent back coordinates the moment they arrived." Paula tapped her foot. "And?" Ramses swallowed. "Nothing. Just gone." Paula crouched down, swiping a sample of the residue with a thin cloth. "This keeps happening, and no one seems to care." She looked up at him, and for the first time, Ramses saw real fear in her eyes. Paula tossed the cloth into the sample container. The levitating bin was already nearly full. "Has anyone actually tested this stuff?" she asked. Ramses hesitated. Paula scoffed. "Seriously? No one's run an analysis?" "Upper management isn't interested." Paula frowned. "That's not science, Ramses. That's religion." He exhaled through his nose, but he couldn't deny it. The anti-prophets mocked faith, but they had their own dogma. Time travel is possible. History can be rewritten. We are on the right side. Any evidence to the contrary was ignored. Paula leaned against the console. "You ever think?" She trailed off, staring at the residue. Ramses folded his arms. "Think what?" She turned to him, lowering her voice. "That this isn't working the way they think it is? That maybe—" She glanced at the platform, hesitating. "Maybe they're not going anywhere." Ramses blinked. "What do you mean?" Paula swallowed hard. "I mean, what if they're just disintegrating?" The room fell silent. Ramses forced a laugh. "That's ridiculous. If they were vaporized, there'd be—" He stopped himself. He was going to say ashes, burnt remains. Something obvious. But that's not what they were left with. Instead, they had this, the residue. Mostly water, traces of minerals, but no bone fragments, no carbonized remains, no scorch marks on the platform, just fluid. A cold chill ran through Ramses' spine. Paula's voice was barely above a whisper. "I think that's all that's left of them." He forced himself to shake it off. "No, that's impossible. They're being transported, He gestured vaguely at the monitors. "We just don't know where." Paula tilted her head. "Then why hasn't history changed?" Ramses had no answer. Paula sat beside him as he began scanning the latest results. "I heard a rumor," she said after a moment. Ramses didn't look up. "You hear a lot of those. This one's different. The higher-ups are considering moving operations to the Middle East." That made him pause. He turned to her. "What?" Paula nodded. "Supposedly they want to set up base closer to the origin points of major religious events. Something about environmental factors helping the process." Ramses frowned. "That's not how physics works." "I know." Ramses ran a hand over his face. "They're getting desperate." He gestured at the screen. "You see this line? It's supposed to measure our progress in time displacement." Paula peered at it. "It's flat." Ramses nodded. "Dead flat. No upward trend, no downward trend, nothing." Paula dragged a finger across the screen. "Shouldn't it be going up? Even if it was going down, that would mean something was happening. Right now, we have zero progress, as if time itself refuses to budge." Paula exhaled, rubbing her temples. So we don't know if time travel is impossible, or if it's just resisting. Ramses tapped the screen, his voice grim. We don't even know if it's real. Paula let out a humorless laugh. The billion-dollar question, huh? Ramses glanced at her. What do you think? She hesitated, then shook her head. I think we're sending people to their deaths, and no one cares because science is their new god. Ramses didn't respond, because for the first time, he was beginning to wonder if she was right. A buzz in Ramses' earpiece made him jump. He turned, raising a hand for Paula to wait. Yes, sir? A voice crackled in his ear. Report to the resource hall, immediately. Ramses frowned. We weren't informed of a meeting. You are now. Move. The line went dead. Ramses turned to Paula. There's a meeting. She raised an eyebrow. That was sudden. He nodded. Yeah, and the guy sounded pissed. Paula stood. That's never good. Together, they left the lab. Behind them, the platform sat empty. The residue still glistened under the lights, the only proof that Legion had ever existed. And yet, nothing had changed.